I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the East End Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Monday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please go to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 108th lesson in our study of Genesis. On Saturday, we covered Genesis chapter 31, verses 1 to 16, discussing how Jacob had told Leah and Rachel that it was time to leave Laban's home for Canaan. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis chapter 31 verse 17 and read through verse 32. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 31 beginning at verse 17. So Jacob arose and set his sons and his wives on camels. He drove away all his livestock, all his property that he had gained, the livestock in his possessions that he had acquired in Padan Aram, to go to the land of Canaan to his father Isaac. Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole her father's household gods. And Jacob tricked Laban the Aramean by not telling him that he intended to flee. He fled with all that he had and arose and crossed the Euphrates and set his face toward the hill country of Gilead. When it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob had fled, he took his kinsmen with him and pursued him for 7 days and followed close after him into the hill country of Gilead. But God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream by night and said to him, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad." And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen pitched tents in the hill country of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done, that you have tricked me and driven away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and trick me, and did not tell me, so that I may have sent you away with mirth and songs, with tambourines and lyre? And why did you not permit me to kiss my sons and my daughters farewell? Now you have done foolishly. It is in my power to do you harm, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad.' And now you have gone away because you have longed greatly for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods?" Jacob answered and said to Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I thought that you would take your daughters from me by force. Anyone with whom you find your God shall not live. In the presence of our kinsmen, point out what I have that is yours, and take it." Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. Having now determined to leave for Canaan, Jacob left for Haran, crossed the Euphrates River, and went towards the hill country of Gilead, some 480 kilometers or 300 miles away. It is interesting to note that Jacob left while Laban was away shearing his sheep. That he didn't tell Laban, we later find out, was because Jacob thought that Laban would steal away his wives from him, leaving him with nothing. Before leaving, Rachel stole Laban's idol gods. Idolatry in Scripture is never acceptable by God, even by those who profess to serve the true God. The God of this universe does not want to be worshipped by idols that we carve. So even though this could have been an idol to the true God, we can know for certain that God was not pleased with it. We don't know exactly why Rachel took them, perhaps because they were valuable, perhaps because she thought they'd provide security, or perhaps to get back at her father, but nevertheless, she took them, a point that will become important later. Laban was told on the third day that Jacob had left, meaning that Laban was 3 days away from where Jacob started, probably at the site where his sons kept his sheep, that 3 days' journey apart from Jacob's flock that we saw in chapter 30. It took Laban and his men 7 days to catch up with Jacob, which, if we assume these 7 days were counted from the same place Jacob started at, means that Jacob had about a 5 to 6 day head start, and that Jacob was overtaken in the hills of Gilead about 12 days after he left. Before Laban overtook Jacob, God appeared to him in a dream, telling him not to harm Jacob in any way. When Laban finally catches up with Jacob, he complains that Jacob had deceived him by leaving secretly, and had Jacob wanted to leave, he would have allowed it. In fact, he would have thrown him a party. He also complained that he didn't get the opportunity to bid farewell to his daughters and grandchildren. Laban is basically asking why Jacob treated him so poorly, which is ironic considering Laban's character. Laban then brings up the matter of the stolen gods. Jacob knew nothing about the gods, so he tells Laban to search for them, and whoever has them would die. We'll continue on with this story, the Lord willing, tomorrow. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of the book of Genesis, beginning with Genesis 31:33.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we'll be continuing our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord.